Imagine a man standing at the pinnacle of fame, where the spotlight illuminates his every move, his every line becomes iconic, and his name echoes like a living legend. That is Al Pacino, who transformed into Michael Corleone in The Godfather, who made the world tremble as Tony Montana in Scarface, and who touched the hearts of millions of audiences with his passionate and intense roles. But today, we are not just talking about a movie star. We are talking about a person, a heart that is still beating strongly at the age of 85, a man who has just shocked the world by publicly announcing the love of his life and announcing an upcoming marriage. How can a man who has hidden his emotions, who has lived in the spotlight but also in his own darkness, dare to stand in public to talk about love? What made Al Pacino, in the twilight of his life, decide to stop hiding and let the world know about the person he loved? Join us on this emotional journey where secrets are revealed, pain is shared, and a love story that will leave you speechless. Al Pacino, at 85, is not only an actor with more than 5 decades of dedication to the art, but also a father, a lover, and now a man ready to enter the next chapter of his life. His love story is not just about an upcoming marriage, but also about courage, about being true to yourself, and about a heart that never stops searching for meaning. Today, we explore not only what Al Pacino has said about his love and marriage, but also what shaped him, from the hard days in the South Bronx to the shining heights of Hollywood, and the trials that made him an immortal icon. Get ready to be swept up in the story of a man who lived not only to act, but also to love. At the age of 85, when many people have chosen to live quietly, away from the spotlight, Al Pacino has made the world stir with a surprising announcement. He is getting married. And he no longer wants to hide the love of his life. In a rare interview in early 2025, Pacino, his eyes still sharp but now filled with tenderness, shared about the woman who made his heart flutter. Noor Al-Fallah, a young film producer who has been with him in recent years, is the person he calls the true love of his life. They welcomed their son Roman in 2023, when Pacino was 83, an event that took the world by surprise. But what really moved audiences was not just the fact that he became a father at an old age, but the way he spoke about Noor, about love, and about his decision to make it all public. For many years, Pacino has kept his private life private. He once told the press that he was a shy person, that sharing about love or family was not easy for him. His relationships with famous women such as Diane Keaton, Beverly D'Angelo, or Lucila Sola were the focus of the media. But Pacino always chose to stay silent, letting his roles speak for his personal life. However, at 85, he seems to have changed. In his memoir, Sonny Boy, published in October 2024, Pacino wrote that he no longer wants to see marriage as a train to misery. He used to call marriage an entrance to pain, but now he is ready to board that train, not because of pressure or expectation, but because he wants the world to know that he has found true happiness. This declaration, like a wave, has caused audiences everywhere to explode with excitement and admiration. Pacino's public declaration of love for Noor Al-Fallah is not only an affirmation of their relationship, but also a declaration of freedom. At 85, he no longer wants to live in reserve or concealment. He wanted the world to know that Noor, 53 years his junior, was not only the mother of his son, but also his companion, his confidant, and the person he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. The upcoming marriage, Pacino said, was not only a personal event, but also a reminder that love has no age limit, that the human heart can beat strong regardless of the passage of time. Audiences, from longtime fans to young people who only knew Pacino through classic films, were drawn to this story. They were moved not only by his sincerity, but also by the way he dared to be true to his feelings despite the prejudices of age or fame. The fact that Pacino kept his love hidden for years only added to the public's curiosity. They have been dating since 2018, but it was only in 2022, when the two were spotted leaving an art gallery in Venice, California, that their relationship began to gain attention. Even then, Pacino kept quiet, letting the photos and rumors speak for themselves. But now, he has chosen to face the world. He says that Noor has not only given him a new family with his son Roman, but also helped him find the joy in life, something he thought he had lost after years of being immersed in work and personal events. The announcement of the upcoming marriage, although no specific date has been revealed, has made the audience feel as if they are witnessing a new chapter in the story of a man who has lived a dramatic life, both on screen and in real life. But what made Al Pacino, a man who had avoided marriage all his life, change his mind? What made him, at the age of 85, decide not only to go public with his love, but also to announce a marriage that many had long doubted? To understand this, we need to look back at his journey, from his tumultuous love relationships to the family he built and the events that shaped him into the person he is today. Al Pacino's story is not just about a movie star, but also about a man who fought through heartache, triumphed, and ultimately found the light in love. Al Pacino, with a career spanning more than 5 decades, is not only a Hollywood icon, but also a man with a complex and colorful love life. Despite his reputation for intense acting, Pacino has always kept his personal life in the shadows, as if he wanted to protect his heart from the prying eyes of the public. However, his love relationships, which never led to marriage in the comedy past, have left a deep mark on his life and shaped his views on family and love. One of Pacino's first and most notable relationships was with Jill Clayburgh, a talented actress he met while they were both acting in the play The Indian Wants the Bronx in 1968. The relationship lasted from 1967 to 1975, when Pacino first became famous for his role as Michael Corleone in The Godfather. Jill, with her intelligence and sensitivity, accompanied Pacino during the early years of his career, when he was still struggling to find his footing in the entertainment industry. However, as Pacino's fame skyrocketed following the success of The Godfather, the pressure of fame put a strain on their relationship. Jill has said that she experienced painful emotions, from self-blame to anger when the relationship ended. Despite this, the two maintained mutual respect, and Pacino has always cited Jill as an important part of his journey to adulthood. After Jill, Pacino began a relationship with Diane Keaton, his co-star in the Godfather trilogy. Their relationship, which lasted from 1971 to 1991, is one of Hollywood's most famous love stories. Diane, with her charm and unique personality, captivated Pacino. She once described him as charismatic, funny, and strangely beautiful, like a lost child with great talent. However, their relationship was not easy. Diane longed for marriage, but Pacino, with his fear of commitment, could not fulfill that desire. By 1990, after several breakups, Diane gave him an ultimatum, but Pacino still chose not to marry. Despite their breakup, the two remained close friends, and Diane appeared at the American Film Institute's Pacino Honors, where she said he was a great artist and someone she loved forever. In the 1980 seconds, Pacino had a brief but important relationship with acting coach Jan Tarrant. Although the relationship did not last, Jan gave Pacino his most precious gift, their first daughter, Julie Marie Pacino, born on the 16th of October, 1989. Julie grew up with a passion for film, like her father, and became a talented producer and director with 2 production companies of her own, Poverty Row Entertainment and Tiny Apples. Pacino, despite his busy career, always tries to make time for Julie, and he once shared that she inspired him in his role as a blind man in Scent of a Woman, the film that won him his first Oscar. Pacino's next significant relationship was with Beverly D'Angelo, the actress best known for her role as Ellen Griswold in the National Lampoon's Vacation series. They met on a plane in 1996, and after just a year, Pacino told Beverly that he wanted her to be the mother of his children. Although Beverly had avoided motherhood her entire life, her intense love for Pacino changed her. After an IVF journey that began in 1997, they welcomed twins Anton James and Olivia Rose on the 25th of January 2001, when Pacino was nearly 61. Their relationship lasted until 2003, but after their split, the two overcame custody disputes to become responsible co-parents. Beverly has said that their love for Anton and Olivia is the foundation for them to resolve any conflicts, and Pacino has always been proud of his twins, although Anton has chosen to live a private life. While Olivia often shares her affection for her father on social media, Pacino also had a nearly decade-long relationship with Argentine actress Lucila Solá from 2009 to 2018. Although they did not have children together, the relationship gave Pacino an adopted daughter, Camila Morrone, Lucila's stepdaughter, who later became a famous actress and model. Pacino always considered Camila his own daughter, and their relationship was a testament to his open heart, even if he never got married. Pacino's family life, despite not being officially married, was filled with love and responsibility. Pacino has said that fatherhood has been an important part of his life, especially since he grew up without one after his parents divorced when he was 2 years old. To Julie, Anton, and Olivia, Pacino has always tried to be a present father, even though he has to split his time between the two coasts to balance work and family. Julie, with her career in the film industry, often makes him proud, with achievements like the Best Director Award at the Venice Short Film Festival. Olivia, who is active on social media, often shares warm moments with her father, such as photos at the Oscars or emotional birthday wishes. Anton, though quiet, is Pacino's quiet pride, with the drawings he made as a child still treasured. In 2018, Pacino began a relationship with Noor Alfallah, a young film producer. The relationship, with its 53-year age gap, has been controversial, but Pacino doesn't mind the gossip. They welcomed their son Roman in June 2023, when Pacino was 83, marking his 4th fatherhood. Although they were no longer romantically involved in 2024, as Pacino confirmed in an interview, he and Noor remained close friends and raised Roman together. However, in early 2025, Pacino made a surprise announcement that he and Noor had found love again and that he wanted to marry her, marking the first time in his life that he had entered into a marriage. The announcement was not only a personal milestone, but also an affirmation that he wanted to be true to his heart, regardless of age or prejudice. Al Pacino, born the 25th of April 1940 in East Harlem, New York, has become one of the greatest actors of all time thanks to his talent, passion, and a career spanning more than 5 decades. His peak began with the role of Michael Corleone in 1972's The Godfather, a role that transformed him from a little-known stage actor into a global icon. The role not only earned him his first Oscar nomination, but also redefined the way the world viewed acting, with its perfect combination of coldness, depth, and complex inner emotions. Pacino brought a Michael Corleone that was both terrifying and sympathetic, a character that audiences could not take their eyes off. After The Godfather, Pacino continued to affirm his talent with a series of classic roles. In 1973's Serpico, he played an upright cop fighting corruption, earning him another Oscar nomination. 1975's Dog Day Afternoon was another milestone, as he played Sonny Wartzik, a bank robber with a conflicted heart. The role not only showcased Pacino's intense acting ability, but also his sensitivity to portraying complex characters. By 1983, Scarface was released, and Tony Montana's role had become a cultural icon, with lines like, "I said hello to the world today," immortalized. The film, while initially panned, has become a classic, influencing everything from hip-hop music to fashion. Pacino's best years weren't limited to the screen. He was a talented stage actor, winning 2 Tony Awards for his performances in Does a Tiger Wear a Necktie and the basic training of Pavlo Hummel. He often returned to the stage between film projects, such as in 1988's Julius Caesar or The Resistible Rise of Arturo Ui, where he showed intensity and subtlety in his performances. Pacino also tried his hand at directing, with works like 1996's Looking for Richard, a documentary performance film about Shakespeare's Richard III, which showed his love of theater and classical literature. Pacino's influence was not only in his performances, but also in the way he inspired later generations of actors. He was one of the pioneers of authentic method acting, studying at the Actors Studio under Lee Strasberg. His approach, with careful preparation and deep immersion, became a model for actors such as Robert De Niro, Denzel Washington, or Leonardo DiCaprio. His films, with a global revenue exceeding $3 billion, are not only commercial successes, but also works of art with profound cultural influence. Despite his great success, Al Pacino's life was not without incidents and conflicts that tested his will and spirit. One of the biggest conflicts in his career came from the film industry itself. After the success of The Godfather and films in the 1970 seconds, Pacino faced enormous pressure from studios who wanted him to continue playing gangsters or action characters to capitalize on his fame. However, Pacino, with the heart of an artist, always wanted to challenge himself with diverse roles, from stage to complex psychological films. This disagreement led to unsuccessful choices, such as the 1985 film Revolution, which was a commercial and critical failure. Pacino has admitted that the film's rushed production left him frustrated, leading him to withdraw from acting for 4 years to return to the stage. Personal conflict was also an inevitable part of Pacino's life. His relationship with Diane Keaton, while passionate, left scars as the two disagreed on their views on marriage. After their split, Pacino fell into periods of loneliness, where he had to confront questions about the meaning of love and commitment. He also faced conflict within the industry, with some producers and directors feeling that his intense acting style was sometimes too overwhelming to handle on set. These criticisms, though not public, left Pacino feeling misunderstood, as if his talent was limited to the stereotypes imposed by the public. Another major event was the custody battle with Beverly D'Angelo after their separation in 2003. The year-long legal battle, with intense arguments over custody of Anton and Olivia, left Pacino both physically and mentally exhausted. Although they eventually reached a joint custody agreement, the period left Pacino with a deep sense of trauma, as if he was fighting to prove his love for his children. These events, combined with the pressures of fame, left Pacino at times feeling isolated, as if he was living in a world where no one really understood him. The biggest downfall may have come from within Pacino. During the 1980 seconds, he struggled with alcoholism and the psychological pressures of fame. He has said that there were times when he felt lost, as if he were playing a role he did not understand. His return to the stage in the late 1980 seconds, with plays like national anthems, helped him find himself again, but the journey was not easy. Pacino faced rumors that his film career was in decline, that he was no longer the star he had been a decade before. These whispers, while untrue, made him fight to prove his worth, both to the audience and to himself. But Al Pacino was never one to give up. He returned to the screen with 1989's Sea of Love, a powerful comeback film, and continued to prove his talent with roles in Dick Tracy, Glengarry Glen Ross, and finally an Oscar for Scent of a Woman in 1992. The events and conflicts, though painful, have forged him into a resilient artist, a devoted father, and now, at 85, a man ready to share his love with the world. Pacino's story is not just about the peaks, but also about how he made it through the deepest valleys to find the light. After his glittering years on screen and stage, Al Pacino gradually withdrew from the bright lights of Hollywood, opting for a more private life where he could find meaning beyond fame. At 85, Pacino is no longer the center of attention, but his silence is not a sign of oblivion, but a subtle transition to a new phase where he seeks to balance art, family, and inner thoughts. His life after the spotlight is a story of reshaping, of confronting feelings of injustice from the past, and of the quiet contributions that have made him an icon not only in his art, but also in the way he lives. In the 2000 seconds, after reaching his peak with an Oscar for The Perfume of a Woman in 1992, Pacino began to choose less flashy roles, but still with a personal touch. Films like 2002's Insomnia, where he played a sleep-deprived detective struggling with moral boundaries, or 2004's The Merchant of Venice, where he played an emotionally charged Shylock, showed that he was still an incredibly versatile actor. However, he also faced criticism that he was no longer the actor he had been in the 1970 seconds or 1980 seconds. Some critics felt that his performances sometimes became exaggerated, as if he were trying to fill in the void of years gone by. These comments, while not always fair, left Pacino with a sense of injustice. He once said in an interview that he never acted to please people, but to seek the truth in each character. But that truth, sometimes, did not resonate with the public as he hoped. Pacino's silence in later years was not a surrender, but a way for him to protect himself from the pressures of fame. He withdrew from blockbuster projects, instead focusing on theater and independent films like 2000's Chinese Coffee, a project in which he both starred and directed. The film, while not a commercial success, was a testament to his love for pure art. He devoted more time to the actor's studio, where he studied and later became co-chairman, helping to train generations of young actors. These quiet contributions, from mentoring new talent to organizing stage shows in New York, showed that Pacino never really left the art, but simply chose to express it in his own way. Pacino's life after the spotlight also saw him change his perspective on life. He has admitted that fame, while it has brought many opportunities, has also been a burden. In his memoir, Sonny Boy, published in October 2024, he wrote that he has learned to appreciate simple moments, such as playing chess with friends, talking to his children, or sitting alone to reflect on life. He no longer craves constant public recognition, but instead finds peace in the little things. His comeback, if you can call it that, is not in blockbuster roles, but in the way he continues to inspire through his personal projects and the stories he shares. He has said that he does not want to return to the limelight of the past because he believes that each stage of life has its own meaning, and at 85 he is living for the present and the future, especially for his son Roman.